Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Jianu, Pakhaira Galeni, Hamachu, Shumme, Washmale, Ohio Gonzaimus. Hi, hugs and hellos to all those beautiful, amazing people who are tuned into PTV World and are watching World this morning alongside Shahzad Khan and Maha Makhdoom. Hello, Maha. How are you? The weather's amazing, fabulous outside.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Shahzad. I'm very well, thank you. The weather is very nice. Finally, I woke up and I didn't want to die from the
Sleep
heat.
again.
No, I actually wanted to sleep because the weather was so pleasant. But no, I'm very good. How are you, Shahzad?
I'm
You're very energetic today.
I'm absolutely perfect, and the only reason why I feel energetic is that the sun's not killing us outside.
Yeah.
You know, the first thing is that, and then the other one's that, you know, it has been raining since last night over here in Islamabad. So, ladies and gentlemen, we guys have been blessed. I'm not aware of the surrounded areas where, you know, it's still raining as well. But over here, this drizzle is making me feel like as if I'm on top of the world. And if you have plans to go to work, that's great. But if you can miss it out today, I think they'll be fine today. But only after watching our show.
Exactly. And also, you know, be careful when you're driving as well because people get a bit crazy in the rain. So,
Yes.
you know, there are other people on the road, so be careful.
Yes.
But no, Shahzad, today we have a very interesting, very fun
Exactly.
show, right?
That's where I was coming to. And, you know, whenever it's drizzling or whenever it's raining and you're driving to anywhere, all right? So you love to listen to music, right? And
That's true.
And whatever type of music it is, it will always inspire you. And at large, if we speak about it, it inspires the society as well. And over here in Pakistan, we've produced so many talented musicians that well, obviously, across the border is an example of that as well, that, you know, most of the time, whatever music you listen to in all of those movies, it is being not well produced, but the playback singers are usually Pakistani now, and that means that we have made our mark.
Exactly, and also, you know, not just for the voices, but for the talent as well. And you know, we have artists who are making, you know, marks in England, in America, in Europe. And one thing, though, what I've realized recently, especially recently, we've said this for the last 2 years, music has no language. It really doesn't, because I have been listening to the most random music from all parts of the world. Lately I've been listening to French, German, and like South American
I was
music.
about to say that because yesterday Maha told me that, you know, I'm listening to some good music, and I was like, why don't you share it with me? Oh, well, it's French. I was like, Maha, music has no language.
It's true.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, today we have been joined by a wonderful musician, a wonderful human
One of our
being.
favorites.
Yeah, one of our, I mean, my favorite. That's something which I can say.
Right.
Lives right next to my house as well, and invites me over for Nihari in
Oh,
Ramadan
nice.
as well. But, you know, we haven't been able to
Where's
do
my
that.
Nahari invite?
And then, you know, the best part is that alongside knowing that there are certain barriers and hurdles within this industry or within this field itself, what he has done is that he came up with his own record label with the name of Echo, and he's actually supporting other musicians so that they can be heard.
Exactly. So we have been joined by none other than Ali Ashraf. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. And also you also have some music coming out which we're going to be discussing.
Yeah,
as well.
sure.
Right.
Yeah, sure,
Perfect. So welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
How was
you.
your Eid and everything?
Eid was splendid.
Yes.
Because the last leg of Ramzan, it wasn't ending.
Yeah.
It was
What a
really
word being
long.
dropped.
And we didn't have our Nihari. I kept asking you, let's go for the Nihari.
He asked me only once, and
And you didn't go?
no, I actually wrote back to him at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, let's go now.
when Sari time was over, and I was still wondering why did he reply?
Yeah, because I was
that means that the
sleeping,
Sari time was
I
over.
had my seri and I was like fast asleep.
Okay, wonderful. So since you were last here, we were talking about the record label. You were
Yeah.
talking about you were working on your album. So
Yeah.
fill us in. What's been going on?
So the last time I was here, I had released my first album. So after that, I launched my own record label by the name of Echo Records.
Yes.
And what we did was we started a lot of live gigs all around Islamabad in different cafes.
Yeah, I've been seeing pictures of
Yes,
that.
they're all over Facebook.
Yeah, we are doing gigs at Classic Rock Coffee. We're doing Second Cup and Satar Baksh. We'll be doing a few more gigs. And coming to the story, I'll also share with you that all these owners of these gigs, these cafes, they're also musicians.
Yeah.
So whenever we go to them and talk about the event and say that we want to use your space and we want to bring in artists and all of that, they're always so supportive about it, which is an amazing thing about Islam.
No, but one thing which I am not able to figure out as of yet, that is that, you know, is it the owners promoting their restaurants or is it our musicians promoting their music?
Well, that
Both.
comes hand in hand because that's what we offer them. What we offer the cafe is we don't pay them for the venue. They don't charge us for the venue. Instead, what we offer them is social media marketing, through which we develop those promo videos. We develop a good photo album of the event. We share it on social media. We give it to them to share it on their websites. So it's a win-win situation for everyone. And secondly, the first
Do you
time,
guys order food over there?
yeah, you know,
They get a
that
lot
has
of
happened a
business.
lot. You know, initially when we started, a lot of people were coming, and one of the owners came up to me and said, "Yeah, Ali, there's so many people over here, but nobody has ordered anything other than a bottle of water." So I said, one, they're musicians, and two, they're fans of musicians. So you can figure out, you can add the
You know, you have
economics
to
of
come
this.
up with some different menus.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
they did come up with a few different items for such cakes, but now things are picking up. Now families are coming in. Now
Wonderful.
people with some good money, they are supporting our cause as well.
Good.
But
You know?
how do people get to know that that you guys will be playing at a certain
Yeah,
restaurant?
because
Social
I always
media.
find out afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, social media and word of mouth. The thing is, initially what we were doing were we were selecting a very few musicians for each and every gig, but then we increased our lineup. That helped us. Number one, all the musicians that in the lineup, 6 to 7 to 8 musicians in one lineup, they get to invite their friends and they get to invite more friends. Then we develop these Facebook events through which we reach out to everyone on our friends list and everything, and then we expect that someone will share the event with the other. But the thing is, people still are a bit reluctant to come to events.
Why?
I don't
Why
know
do
why.
you think they
Now
do
check
that?
out this weather outside.
Yeah.
And it'll be like this, I think,
But
on
no
the weekend
cafe
as
would be
well.
open at this time.
No, not. But we will be having an
than a
event
few.
this weekend. But it
Okay.
is very hard to bring them out. I think the biggest problem they say is that we don't know the artists, which is not fair. Because all these artists
That's
are
the
really
point.
good. They are really good performers. They have amazing lineups of their songs. But
But
people
as a
need
marketing
to
Okay, wait, I
support.
have a question.
Yeah, okay, you have a question.
You guys are going
Go
on the
ahead.
marketing side. I
Yeah.
want to stay on the music side for a bit. So now you're talking about the lineup and you're talking about people coming out and supporting. How do you choose the musicians? Because that also then, if you want to bring people out, then you need to have a balance of unknown and known musicians.
You know,
I mean, imagine you posting some saying Atif Aslam coming to this restaurant this weekend. Don't you think people will come?
Why would we invite Atif Aslam?
yeah,
Why?
exactly.
Because he's a
He doesn't
musician
need
too.
an invitation
He
from
If
us.
music does not have any language, music cannot be racist.
No,
as
I
well.
mean he doesn't need an invitation from us.
Yeah.
We are supporting the artists who don't get invitation.
Exactly. And the ones who are trying to make a career out of
Yeah.
it.
Which
He's made his
artists are
career.
those? Okay, name them.
I'll tell you a few. Right now we had a gig at Classic Rock Coffee, and
Thank
we
you
had
very much for saying that. Yeah. Well,
we had Zoha Zuberi over there.
Constantly.
It was Zoha Zuberi over there, Jasim Haider and the Pindi
Jasim
Boys.
Haider is amazing.
There was Dheere Bolo. Then there was there's Shamir
Shamir
Kidwai.
Kidwai, yes. He's
Yeah,
a
there
great
was
guy.
Maria Fatma was there.
Okay.
Then we have the among the new artists. We have a lot of them. There is Shamoon Ismail.
Shamoon
That's
is
He's
the
not
guy.
new.
guy,
No.
Dave.
There's another one.
He didn't tell you?
Shahan Zafar. Shahan Zafar.
Okay.
There's so many names. I
Yeah.
keep forgetting
Mixing,
them.
okay, yeah.
Then there is Haris Khan. He's also a new kid. He was also on your show
Yeah.
as well. So there are a lot of artists, a lot of female artists as well that are on our
Wonderful.
panel.
And you get
Okay.
to pretend like you're the grandfather of all of them musicians.
They consider me that because of my,
Consider
you know.
amazing that is, but just to kickstart our day with
Yes.
some amazing tune,
Yeah, sure. Why
something
not?
new
Yeah,
you
sure.
want to share with us, probably.
So it's the weather is really awesome.
It is,
So
but you still have to be in your air conditioner, right?
No, fan is fine.
this is a Punjabi song I
Great.
made myself and I wrote it myself, and it's called Chand Tare Ve.
Chand Tare Ve.
Chand Tare.
Wonderful.
Ah, teri.
Take it away.
1, 2, 3, 4. चन तारे वे मेरे सोने वे चंद पल कुछ होर मेरे को ठहर जा ਸਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਾਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੰਘ ਜਾਣ ਦੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਰਤੀਆਂ ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਏ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੀਆਂ ਐਨੀ ਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਤੈਨੂੰ मैं करा चंद पल रुक जा अंजना सता किन्ने वेखी आउण दी घड़ियां चन तारे वे मेरे सोहणे वे चंद पल कुछ हो मेरे को ठहर जा.
Wow, that was great.
That was so
But where
nice.
was Punjabi in it?
Yes, man, it was like
Ruk ja.
Islamabadi Punjabi.
Ruk ja is
It's not
Urdu.
ruk ja, ruk ja.
Ruk ja, ठहर जा.
ठहर जा.
ठहर जा
Yeah.
is probably Punjabi,
But
but it's all right. But it
it's
was
music,
great.
It's music.
So what were you thinking about when you wrote this song?
Yeah, it was basically the strumming pattern. I was
I was
playing with the
noticing that, yeah.
I was playing with this strumming pattern, and all of a sudden I was sitting in my studio, having a good time, and these
Yeah, you
lyrics
made yourself a
poured
new
in.
studio as well. Tell us
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's a small setup as of now. What we're
But
looking
you can
into.
still produce music. over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. And what we're doing is we're looking for a space, a proper space in Islamabad, in a commercial area, that we will develop into a jamming room for rehearsals for all the artists.
I
They
think I can
come
help
in.
you with that.
Yeah, I would love
Honestly,
your.
we'll talk about it after the
We
show.
will talk about this after the
Yeah.
show. Now, going forward, sticking to the music that you just sang, you've got a new album.
I'm
You're
working
working
on
on
it.
it,
Yeah,
right.
3 songs
So-
are done, 7 are left.
Well, okay, so still a bit of time. But what is the inspiration? What is going on with this album?
The second album is called Kala Pila Neela. and
Kala Pila
it's-
Neela.
Yeah,
Is there
and it's
anything
gonna
left?
be it's gonna be really different from the first album.
Yeah.
It's more of rock and roll. Kind of a few songs are hard rock, and I don't think I'll be having any mellow song in it.
Okay.
So it'll be a different. You know, you guys are always talking about, "Yeah, kuch
Yeah.
tez gana,
Okay.
kuch
So-
tez
so
gana."
what
But I
really-
like your mellow songs too.
So
Yeah,
I think
thank
what
you
I
so
need to
much.
do is probably grow my hair and headbang. on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. So
I can totally headbang. Okay, so we will ask you for another song. We'll ask
Sure,
you for
sure.
But
another
there's one more
catchy
thing
one.
which I wanted to ask, and that
Yeah, go
is
for it.
about your record label as well, which is with the name of Echo. So how many musicians have you signed already? And how
right
many
now
more to
we've
come?
signed up one musician. The thing is, we're not promoting singles. We're not working with artists who want to just release a single. We only
But
want
that's what the
to-
trend is.
Yeah, that's what the
You
trend
wanna
is, and
change
I
that.
don't like that trend. I want to work with artists who have who are working on their own original albums, so that we have a good marketing strategy in place to promote that album rather than just release a single and then there's no follow up.
Okay, and also in regards to the artists that come to you who want to do singles, how are you trying to inspire them or encourage them to make an album, and that is the way forward?
That's what we do. Like when they come up to us with singles, what we tell them is like, you know, all these events that we are doing, I always encourage them to play their own songs.
Yeah.
Other than do covers and covers and covers, play their own songs so that I can get to listen to some good new music. And if they have that talent in them to write the songs, to be a songwriter, if they've written one, then they can take some time and write more songs and be a complete package. The thing is, people just want to be famous overnight with one song.
Yeah.
And what that is not wrong.
Channu,
Everyone
Adat.
wants to do that, even in the West. But the thing is, if you want your own musical creative growth, you have to work on an album.
And also, if you want the industry to kind of actually have a bit of, weight, then you need to have proper artists.
Yes.
And-
you need-
Excellent.
And then, for example, if you have signed a few artists with your record label, why didn't you name them? I mean, this is your
No, I have.
opportunity and our
I have
opportunity
signed
as
the
well.
first artist we've signed right now is Jasim Heather and the
Oh,
Pindi Boys.
Jasim Heather is great.
Ah,
man.
they're
They are
great.
great. I met him the first time I met him was at a gig that we arranged, and I was completely in awe of his musical talent. He
Yes.
plays the harmonica, he plays the guitar, he writes his own songs. He's supremely talented, and
Produces
I
and
like
directs
the
videos and
yes. They've recorded.
He's a photographer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what we're going to do is we're going to launch their album called Pindi Blues.
Yeah.
And it will have some amazing songs in it. They've already recorded one song, the Pindi Boys song.
Pindi Boys, yeah.
They've redone it. We're going to shoot its video in the first week of August. It's
Yeah,
gonna
I am
be-
a Pindi boy. It's all right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
me too, man. Everyone is a Pindi boy when
We're
it
all
comes
Pindi
to.
boys. I'm Pindi
How
boy
can
too.
you be a Pindi boy?
So if you guys want to be in the video,
See,
that'd be
I am.
Sure,
awesome,
man. We'll do that. Don't worry.
Okay.
And we
okay.
won't even
We'll have
charge you
Shoaib
for that.
Akhtar, we'll have Sheikh Rashid Saab, we'll have everyone in the video, and
All
they
the
will
Pindi
Wonderful.
boys.
hum hai Pindi boys.
Okay, wonderful.
Pindi boys.
Okay.
Pindi boys.
Now, going forward, like you said, you want to get artists that want to make albums, and you've got one artists signed to your record label. Now, how are you deciding to? How are you picking these artists though? Because also people are coming to you, but you're also
through
looking
these
for
gigs,
them through the gigs.
through these gigs, we invite in every event we invite new artists, and then I'm over there
But that's
myself.
what I'm saying.
with my
How do you
team.
find these new artists? You're
Well, they
inviting them?
approach number one, the musicians of Islamabad. Everyone knows everyone. So after the first few gigs, now everyone is telling us that please give this guy a chance, this band a chance. So the artists are coming up.
Okay.
They're also messaging us on Facebook, and I also get messages on my phone that we want to be in the next lineup. So that's not a problem. There are a lot of art. The thing is, they have to be patient. And what we want them, because this is, we will invest our time, our energy, our resources on them. So for that to be done, we need to see that they have the lambi race ka ghoda wala element.
Okay,
You know?
so commitment to
Okay,
it.
but then one last thing before we move to another song and wrap up the segment, and that is that I've seen Ali Zafar and Noori and everybody else coming up with a record label, but that record label is nowhere to be seen right now. So how do you see within your own perspective that, you know, that Lambi Race Ka Ghoda, that Derby horse, is going to be your record label?
Well, because we're not promising big things right now. We're taking small steps, and
Baby
we're building,
steps,
baby
cute.
steps, and building from there, rather than going, you know, a big bang about it.
Alright.
So that's why we are taking our time. We're being patient. There are a lot of variables right now, especially the economics of music is still very, very vague. It's very, very absent right now in Pakistan. So we are figuring out a way to, you know, build that as well.
So you've got a great deal of responsibility on your
Yes,
shoulders. We
yes.
wish you best of luck for your future
Thank you
endeavors.
so
Yes.
much.
And we're looking forward to the album as
Yes.
well.
Yes, yes, I will bring it here, of course.
And
Yes.
share
we'll
it
wrap
with you
up
guys.
the segment with one of your last songs.
Yeah, I will do
Something
a song.
like a bit beaty.
Yeah. That's what we're gonna play. It's today is Pakistan's first Test match against England after the
Yes, and Muhammad Am is there as well.
yeah. So
Oh,
this
God,
song,
England and Pakistan, eh?
Yes.
so this song I made was about our cricket team. It's called Jeet.
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 Jeet coming your way.
उतरो मैदान में बन के तूफान छा जाओ आसमां पे कह रहा ये जहां के जीत ही तेरी पहचान हौसला है यहाँ जोश का इम्तिहान दिख रही बुलंदियां बेचैन है हम यहाँ के जीत ही तेरी पहचान छोड़ आ ऐसे निशान के हर एक जुबान पे तेरी हो दास्तां एक नया हो आसमां तेरी जीत को करे जो बयां के जीत ही तेरी पहचान।
Woohoo! And with this, ladies and gentlemen,
Very
we'll
nice.
wrap up the segment. We'll have to go for a short break. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll have two more artists right on this couch. Well, this morning, that's what you were tuned into. Good morning.
The Lahore Fort, locally referred to as Shahi Killa, is citadel of city of Lahore. It is located in the northwestern corner of the walled city of Lahore. The trapezoidal composition is spread over 20 hectares. Origins of the fort go back as antiquity. However, the existing base structure was built during the reign of the Mughal Emperor Akbar between 1556 and 1605 and was regularly upgraded by subsequent Mughal, Sikh and British rulers. It has two gates. One is known as Alamgiri Gate, built by Emperor Aurangzeb, which opens towards Badshah Mosque, and the other older one known as Masjidi. Punjabi language words means of masjid, or Masjidi Gate, which opens towards Masjid Gate area of walled city and was built by Emperor Akbar. Currently, Alamgiri Gate is used as a principal entrance, while Masjid Gate is permanently closed. The fort manifests the rich traditions of Mughal architecture. Some of the famous sites inside the fort include Sheesh Mahal, Alamgiri Gate, Nolakha Pavilion, and Moti Masjid. In 1981, the fort was inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site along with the Shalimar Gardens, Lahore. Architectural wonders of Pakistan.
The tomb of Shah Rukn Alam was built between 1320 and 1324 and is an unmatched pre-Mughal masterpiece. The mausoleum of Rukn Alam could possibly be considered as the glory of Multan. From whichever side the city is approached, the most prominent thing that can be seen from miles all around is a huge dome. This dome is the shrine of the saint. The tomb is located on the southwest side of the fort premises. This elegant building is an octagon, 51 feet 9 inches in diameter internally. The total height of the building
Welcome, I lost my voice. Welcome back, everyone. And before the break, we were talking to Ali Ashraf, and we were talking about his record label Echo, what's going on with the music scene and the artists. And in Islamabad, there has been, not revival because it never stopped, but there has been more emphasis and more gigs. There's been more live music.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because there are, so many other restaurants and cafes opening up that you cannot even keep the count now. So
But
whenever there's a
that's
cafe
really good.
opening up, they just invite all of them, and I think it's good. It's a
really
great
good.
deal for all of those people who does not get a platform to highlight what they are capable of.
And yeah, exactly. And one day, like all of these new artists that are coming, one day they'll be at that level where you're like, oh wow, they're super famous, and I saw them
Yes.
in a restaurant.
But
somewhere.
then there are certain artists who might not have been around or probably have not been resided so much over here in Pakistan, but they have done so much across the borders or
Yes.
probably in other parts of the world that they are recognized over there. But unfortunately, we do not tend to recognize them over here in Pakistan and as Pakistanis. We do know that Zan from One Direction belongs to Pakistan, but we do not
Well,
know about
kind
many
of,
other people.
half.
Kind of, obviously.
I don't know how much she would take ownership of that. But anyway, there are wonderful
It's
people.
just like Russell Peters taking ownership of India.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he does he? Anyway, now moving
Half
on,
of
we
the
have
place.
some wonderful guests in the studio. We have a lot to discuss with them. Now we're doing a different form of art.
Visual art.
Visual art. So now we have some artists in the studio who have been doing a lot of work within Pakistan, within Islamabad, and they are doing. We have some of their work to show you, and it's wonderful. And they're using different mediums, and it's very different. And there's videos as well. It's more performance art as well. It's fantastic. And like you were saying, there's no set form of art. There's no language to it. It's about getting a message across, and this is what these young ladies are doing.
And the best part is that any form of art, whatever it may be, we have inherited it from the subcontinent as well, and it has got a greater impact on the society. And that's what you reflect on in your work as well, and that's what the society perceives. But it depends on your own perception, because everything by the end of the day is a perception.
Exactly, it's your own opinion, but to discuss their art and to discuss exactly what they're doing in regards to art and a curation, we have been joined by Sundas Asfar. She is an artist and a curator. Assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Walaikum
Thank you for
assalam.
joining
Thank
us.
you very much for coming over.
Besides Sundas, we have been joined by Hurmat Ulan. She is an interdisciplinary artist and an art educationist.
That's right. Assalamu alaikum, Jay.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
joining
for
us.
having us.
Okay,
So the first things first.
you go first.
What is the meaning of your name?
Hurmatul An.
Yes. That's a
it-
very different name.
It is, right. It means respect for the eye. Anki Izzat.
Wow.
Oh, very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, deep.
That
You've
is
got a
very
greater impact
very
of your
deep.
name on your own self as well.
I hope so.
Well, secondhand is beautiful because you're an artist
you.
as well, and excellent. I like it. So now let's get the conversation started. So Sundas, you're an artist and a curator,
Yeah.
but we'll talk about your art first. We've got some of your pieces to share as well. So tell us, how did you get into art?
Well, I think it's going to sound a little cliched, but I was always
It's fine.
I was always interested in art, and it's also that I think it was kind of a personal calling as well. But then I got so much support from the family, and then I joined art, and there was always a need to express myself, and I was inspired by a lot of things happening in my
So
surroundings.
you've always been interested in art.
Yeah, yeah.
What about artists?
What about artists? I think I think from the moment I started thinking about curation and pursuing curation, I am interested in artists
You
as
totally missed out my point. It's
No,
all
we
right.
didn't. We're just sidestepping it, Shazad.
But just like,
well. But as a curator, I am very much interested in artists and their work.
Just to clarify for everyone. Okay, wonderful. So now, before you got into curation, but while you were on your journey as an artist, you said things around you were inspiring you, but what artists, what kind of work was, did you take any inspiration from other artists?
Yes, definitely. A lot from the contemporary art scene here and internationally. And then I think art education kind of helped me a lot to shape up my experience and my art. And also my experience here and abroad.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we have some of your pieces, so let's give our viewers an idea of what kind of work Sundas
Yeah.
does. Let's take a
let's
look.
take a look. And Sundas will
And you're gonna
actually
explain to
elaborate
us.
about it. Yeah. All right, we're ready.
We're ready.
Yes.
So yeah, this is like one of my recent, not recent, like a year back, mixed media pieces. It was also about a personal experience I was going through, and then I was thinking about this idea of dollhouse and putting jigsaw pieces together, and there's this idea of femininity associated with it, and
I
all
think
of
that
those
can be a
things.
solution for tall people as well, because if you have got a small mirror, you can probably place it
Yes.
up high.
Yes.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen. But that was a good one.
Yeah,
That's-
okay.
All right,
Yeah.
the next
This,
one.
I really like this one.
Yeah, I think this one was basically the inspiration was coming from my husband, Asfar. So it was also about the things which were going on in my relationship at that time, and then on the back you can see this imagery of an umbrella from Medina.
Yeah.
So a lot of contemporary narrative, and then icon from our cultural background. They all are juxtaposed together in a very fantasy sort of environment.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you're to do this again, what
I
would be
love this
different?
one
Do you
as
think you'll still have that umbrella at the background as well?
I think so. Maybe.
So the relationship is the same.
No, it definitely evolved over the time.
All right.
But yes.
Okay, so it's very nice. Okay, next
Okay,
one.
moving on to the next one. Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So it was also so the last one and this one was part of the series, and here again the same character is sitting in a very aristocratic
fantasy type.
pose. The same goes for like Al Pacino pose in Godfather, you can say.
Okay. Oh,
And
sure.
then this
Wonderful.
one is a mixed media painting. I was exploring the medium on canvas. It's gouache, pencil, oil paint, a lot of
Oh
mediums
wow,
together.
wonderful.
Amazing that is. Oh yeah, this is the one, Aslam Kahani, right?
Yes, Aslam Kahani. So
Because
this
Aslam was in denial first, and there are 2-3 different
yes,
phases.
Aslam was this character I took inspiration from my childhood memories. Aslam used to be this character in the textbooks
Just
which
like Sally.
yeah. So I was always associating with Aslam and not any female character because there was none.
But Sally,
Sally,
the one
No,
who
no,
actually
I-
forgets that
I
she's
was-
actually wearing
I-
that Apple T-shirt, and she keeps on looking for that
I
everywhere.
don't know who Aslam and Sally are.
Oh, it's all right because you didn't study in Pakistan. Yeah, but moving on to Hurmatullah now.
Yes.
So, just like I said, everything is a perception. How do you perceive art and visual arts, to be more precise?
Right. I would say that all art is a perception of the experiences
Yes.
that individuals are facing, and so hence it's so social and it's so cultural in that way, right? Because we are completely, as artists, we are completely absorbing the experiences from our environments, and when those environments are evolving, because they are, right? Everything is in flux. We were changing with it. So, there is no constant definition of that perception of art, right?
Yeah.
Because it'll continuously change.
Vary from individual to individual.
Right. And also in terms of mediums, right? Because traditionally the mediums were restricted to painting, to the use of paint and sculpture, the use of wood or metal and now in the contemporary context, art has evolved so much that a gesture, a movement, a thought can be art.
Okay, so before what Maha wants to ask you,
I can ask my own question, Shazad.
there's one more thing. There's one more thing which I want to ask, and that is that most of the time, whenever we go to an exhibition or whenever we are in conversation with artists, I have seen people, I've witnessed, or I probably might have made this mistake, that what do you mean by this piece?
Right.
Because it gets
You haven't,
difficult.
you haven't made that in a gallery.
Because it gets so difficult for the other person to understand it, and
That's true.
they want the artist to define what he or she actually came up with. So is it like a really stupid question, or it's not?
No, I
Do
don't
some
think it's
artists get offended or upset by this question?
No, definitely. I don't think we get. Artists love attention, right?
Yeah.
So, you must know about that too, a thing or two about that, right? Because, if somebody is engaging with your art or with you, then, that's taken positively, right? But, I would answer that question differently because, there's so much art done by the masters, from the Renaissance period or like after that or the modern period, and the artist is no longer there to defend their stance on their piece, right? So I think the work of the artist sometimes obviously precedes to the fact that they have to sort of explain or defend or define what they did or what they were thinking, but most of the time it's also the audience or the person who's witnessing the work to complete the work by appropriating their own meaning to it, and that's how the work really gets complete.
Okay.
Now you can.
Okay, now I can. So now sticking to the audiences, and then we'll move on to the curation aspect of it all as well, because your style of art is very different. It's performance based. It's it's very unique. Even for me, it was a lot to take in because I'm used to very specific art forms, but. When you are trying to get your message across to the audience, how have you seen an evolution in their kind of understanding from when you first started to now, or is it still much, are the Islamabad art-based society a bit behind compared to everyone else?
Right.
That's the nicest way I can put it.
No, you're right.
We are like that in Islamabad, and we should highlight the fact that we are lazy and we do not expose ourselves to these different
That's a very
things.
generalized statement.
Compared to,
Yeah, it's
compared to Karachi audiences, we are.
Right. I think it's got to do not just with the people, but the institutions that are supporting art and galleries and art centers. So we have PNC here right at a walking distance from here, right?
Exactly.
Right there, right? But how many of us has actually have received an invite with a show saying that, you know, you should definitely like come visit this, and this is
But
the
do
latest.
you need an invite? Like surely, like in in any other art going place, with galleries, people just walk in. You just walk in.
Right. So I mean that's another point, right? But when I said invite, I meant more in the sense that a latest curated contemporary art show, right? So in the sense that they have their collection and it's beautiful, trust me. But that collection has been there since what, 2007, I think, right? So I mean, I think it's more about like the platforms that the artists are provided. And to be very, very fair and honest, I've in the 5 years that I've lived in Islamabad, I've just only shown my work here in Islamabad once.
That's it.
You know, yeah.
So
And
my
you've already
generalized
made it over
statement.
here. But then at
My
the same,
generalized statement
but then
made.
at the same time, since you guys are curators yourself, don't you guys think that galleries should actually be at places where there is quite a lot of footfall? Not
There's
just
quite a lot of-
PNCA probably, or not just any other
Footfall.
secluded platform where you're only going for the reason that just because it's a gallery. I think it should be at such a place where there are people coming in every day just like that for normal work, and then you get to see
There are places like
people's
that.
work.
I
Yeah.
think that has a lot to do about the perception of art. Generally here, people do not think of gallery as just,
I mean,
a
in
very,
Brazil, you'll
yeah,
see art on walls,
yeah.
streets.
Yeah, I mean, and nowadays, like we did have galleries like Khas, which have like cafes as well, and you can just go and have food and look at art as well.
Yes.
So that's
Ux.
Ux, and then we have Satrang. But now most of the galleries are closed because of the recent.
Yeah, because everybody opened up a restaurant in a house, but it's
Yeah.
all right, ladies and gentlemen. We have got Hurmatullah's work, which is ready and she'll.
Right.
And we'll come back to this curation
Yeah.
aspect.
Let's do it. We are ready.
Have a look. So this is the guest room, right?
Right. This is the guest room series, and there were 6 photographs, and
And you guys worked on this together.
So this was a curator.
She was
for
a
this
curator
show.
for this,
and
right?
she was
right.
the artist.
And I was the artist.
Great.
And
What did you do over there?
So what was the
Rameen?
guest room? What was the concept?
Right. So initially, when I moved to Islamabad, I was, I was like a guest in this city. Like so many people in the city are not really from Islamabad, right? And I was the same. And I was staying at friends' places and a lot of relatives' places. I was crashing over a lot while having my own really trashy apartment.
Yes,
And so these works came out of this desire to revisit those spaces, and I went back to my hosts and I asked them to if I could do an intervention into those rooms that I had stayed in.
Wow.
And this idea of like a guest room or a spare
But
bedroom.
so for all those layman people out there,
Sure.
including myself,
Yeah.
so by an intervention you mean that you went there and you set up your art project there?
Right. So I went to that space, or I visited that space with an intention of perhaps doing a performance there. And at that point, I did not know
that
what
looks
kind of
crazy.
intervention
Yeah.
will I do.
Oh.
Right.
Amazing.
So then these
You've been to
photographs.
so many places?
Yes.
You've been living in so many places?
Well, I tried. Some of them is curated.
Why did you even rent a flat for your own self?
No, you're right. You're right.
Okay, so
That's
We all
good.
have our stories.
Okay, so now so let's discuss this one. So
Right. So this is an apartment that is not under use anymore. But I stayed there through a friend's context once, and this is another work, by the way.
That's another piece of work.
That's another.
We've
That's
jumped
another
ahead.
work. Yeah, we've jumped ahead.
Okay. And we're
But
still
anyway, so in this guest room series, I basically went to those bedrooms and I curated these fantastical, almost environments where something was off, or something, or this kind of like alien being had been disposed in an otherwise homely environment.
What's this?
Okay, wait.
Right.
Okay, no, before we move on to these, I just
This
want
is
to, in regards to, how did you exhibit these?
Right. So the
That's
guest
really
room,
important because the
that's true.
guest
So this
Yeah.
maybe you wanna.
So
yeah.
let's-
Yeah, so me and Hermit were collaborating on this project. I was working as a curator and she was working as an artist. So when she came up with this, with these series of work, I wanted to show them at an alternative space and not a gallery, a space where you can have people can just walk in and interact with the artwork. They might not know or be familiar that
That's
it's an
something
artwork, but they still interact with it. So me and Hermit mutually
It's like
decided.
living within an art piece.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
But I
That's
just
a
want to
good
know how
idea.
people came to see it.
Well, we did have invited audience. For people who do not know, we exhibited the work at a motel in Rawalpindi, in a motel room in Rawalpindi, and we did have invited audience, but we got a lot of audience from who were just motel guests.
Wonderful.
There,
Okay,
and
so-
they- yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, now these other pieces that we've just seen, the picture, the
Very
black and white.
quickly.
So if we
Right.
can go back to the pictures?
Yeah.
So what is that all about?
Right. So this is from my undergrad degree show years back, and I was reenacting photographs. So this is where performance art came to me, or I got
Okay, here
sucked
we
into
go.
performance art. So the photograph on the left, where you see the old photograph with the child and
father and
a
you.
father, yeah, that's me, and that was an actual old photograph, and I reenacted the photograph as an adult. So the photograph on the right is staged. And I did a series of these staged photographs in a studio where the photograph on the left is being reenacted, but
now
then
you've grown up.
and I've grown up, and then we don't know what the relationship with the man is, or if there is a man, because you can't be sure in that photograph anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Excellent. So it's open to perception, and like you're trying to change it
Amazing
up a
that is.
bit.
Right, and obviously tapping into memories, so this is work also. A lot of artists tend to do that. They tap into what we already know and try to change that a little bit.
Okay, and that's the whole point of art, isn't it? Like you said, to add your own perception to it. But now, Sundas, coming back to the curation, you were talking about how, a lot of these galleries have been closed, whatever. But now, what is the next step?
I think now is the best time in Islamabad to do art in public spaces and in alternative spaces. That's one way of making the general public part of
So what
the
are we
artwork.
waiting for? I mean,
Permission?
you guys just have to step outside and
Yes,
start working on
we
it.
did, and we are going to do it again as well. We are working on few other projects, and in future you are.
And whenever you guys are up to something like this, just let us know.
Exactly.
And, our
Especially if you're gonna do
pages, you know
public art.
ourselves now, so just be a part of the team, and we'll be a part of your team as well. And
Yes,
we'll
absolutely.
Do it. And we'll do it together, and
Thank you
that's
so
what
much.
needs to be done as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
Thank you
That
very
sounds
much,
great.
ladies.
Thank you
Thank you so
very
much
much.
for your time. It was
Thank
absolutely
you for having
wonderful.
us.
Thank you. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. We were exploring art in different art forms today. So we had Ali Ashraf, then we had Sundas, and we had Hermit, talking about different mediums. And, art is beautiful. There's so much out there, and there's a lot of beauty out there. as
And
well.
the artists are always amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to write to us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of,
Well, this morning.
on Twitter,
Well, this morning without a G.
on Daily Motion and YouTube.
Well, this morning,
And the fabulous repeat is going to be at
5 past midnight.
till the next time. 1, 2, 3.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Thank you, bye.
The Shah Faisal Mosque in Islamabad, Pakistan, is among one of the largest mosques in the world. It is a popular mosque in the Islamic world and is renowned for both its size and its architecture, covering an area.
It is a part of your personality which wants pleasure at all the cost.
This is probably nafs.
Yeah, nafs shar.
Yeah.
You can say that nafs ammara. Wama ubariyu nafsi inna nafsa
Yeah,
la
we've discussed
ammara
about that.
bisir. Yeah, it is a nafs ammara. So it is an opportunity to control that nafs ammara. So I say, and same it is said, the Holy Prophet said, as-sawmu junnah, that the fasting is the shield. It is shield against the evil. But it would be from our action, not it would not come from the any heaven or from the sky to do that. We have been given the opportunity, especially when we do anything collectively, the psychological and social effects contribute to the effect. If all the people are going to prayer, I would have no hesitation to go for. But if all the people are sleeping or working, if I go for prayer, it is difficult for me to collect myself.
It's so
it is a
true.
collective opportunity, and that's why the Holy Prophet said.
It's just
"Man-"
like that, you know,
Yeah.
if you the only one who failed in class, you'll feel more
Yeah.
bad.
The one
If you've
point,
got two,
the
three
last
more
point,
friends with you.
the point,
Fine.
the point is that, as you said, that in Ramadan we are doing all the good things, inviting the people to get the money. But in the 11th month we forget. This is just denying and defying the concept of Ramadan. This is training we should extend for the 11 months.
Exactly.
Not that the lost, when we see the Eid al-Fitr moon, we don't pray even in the Isha prayer. We said it's okay.
Okay, so that's our aim for this year, that we will pray on the Eid al-Fitr prayer. But no, thank you so much for joining
Thank you
us,
for
and thank you so
inviting
much for your time. It's been very interesting.
And we'll definitely try to recondition ourselves as well,
Yes.
not just in this month, but the entire year.
Yes, and we do try. But no, I hope you guys have a very good, first day of fasting, and I hope you guys make it till the end. And before you get home, don't speed. There's no need to have traffic accidents. Your loved ones are waiting for you at home, so drive carefully and with patience, and you will make it home. So it'll be fine.
Yeah, and then at the same time, there's one humble request, and that is that a lot of people, every Ramadan, they have these questions whether we can brush or not while fasting, whether we can do this or not. So what you can do is that you can probably write to us all your questions and queries on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of,
Well, this morning.
or probably on Twitter.
Well, this morning without
and
a
then
G.
we'll get back to you with the proper segment where we'll answer all of these queries as well. So don't forget to remember us in your prayers.
And do watch the repeat at 5 past midnight.
Look after yourselves. Good morning.